So fans, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another series review, and today we'll be doing the Millennium Era. Since throughout this year I've been doing the Godzilla 70th anniversary celebration, and today we'll be quickly covering the Millennium Era spoilers review. So I'm gonna be quickly talking about all 6 Millennium Era films, spoiler heavy and all that stuff. So yeah, let's just do that. So coming up right now, and I hope you guys enjoy the show. All right, guys, quiet on set. Scene 1, take 1. Action! Boom! Now, if you guys like this video, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you share with it, and also hit that bell for notifications because, well, it does help the channel a lot. And if you're new here, welcome, sit down, relax, and enjoy the show. And I would kindly appreciate if you guys do hit that subscribe button because I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so let's hit that mark, guys. 1,000. Yeah, not 100,000. Or whatever. Alright, so I'm going to try to make this quick as I can, so let's just quickly do this. Now we're going to talk about Godzilla 2000, or just Godzilla Millennium, I hope I'm saying it right, Millennium 2000, so, hopefully I didn't butcher that name, but yeah, it's Godzilla Millennium, alright, so yeah, we're going to call it Godzilla 2000 here. Godzilla, this is G-Team that's basically tracking him around. They're kind of like a Godzilla weather channel, basically like a tornado chaser. Instead of a tornado, they're chasing Godzilla, which is really nice. But also we got Karakiri, who's basically trying to kill Godzilla because him and our main character Shinoda, they used to work together, and then, well, they had differences, and, well, they went to separate ways. Well, in a way, Godzilla's destruction in a way unites them. And also we have this UFO that, well, it looked like a rock that was found underneath the ocean, but they found out that a couple thousand or maybe a million years ago, this UFO crash landed on Earth, and now that it's woken up, Godzilla's, he wants to kick his ass. So yeah, now let's get on to the review here, guys. Okay, when it comes to Godzilla, like official Godzilla, like Toho, Japanese, anything, like we know the Godzilla, this is actually my first true Godzilla film that I've seen, man, because this is, wow, because this is actually, I think I've said this a couple times before in the YouTube channel, but this is the Godzilla that I was introduced to for the franchise. I remember seeing the commercials or the trailers on TV for Godzilla 2000 for the US release. I was 5 years old, and I still remember it to this very day, those commercials, and I wanted to see it in theaters. I didn't get a chance to until the VHS came out to a local video store, and I rented it and I loved it. It was funny because I saw Roland Emmerich's version first, and I thought Godzilla was gonna die. And then again, I watched a lot of monster movies where the giant monster dies, but always in a way comes back, or just slasher villains dying and then they come back in the next one. So I expected Godzilla to die here, but he didn't die, and I was a bit thrown off. Like, oh, that's sad for the people. But then again, I'm like, but it's badass as a little kid. I'm glad that Godzilla lived at the end of the movie. So, seeing an official Godzilla film, it is just phenomenal, man. I really loved I dug the special effects more there, man, because of course it was, guys in suits, but it was real. It was just amazing. The scale level is great, and it is just so good. And dude, I love this suit, man. And I'm glad I pre-ordered the Haya Toys figure, man. I love this suit, man. It's probably one of my top 3 or top 5 favorite suits of designs of all time, and I just love Mide Goji suit, man. I love Mide Goji, man. He is so cool. Let's get on to the story here. The story is actually pretty fine. It was actually, I believe I've heard, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a response film to the Roland Emmerich film that unfortunately did piss Japan off, not just Toho, and yeah, and fans out. So it was more of a response, I believe, film. But then again, they were already gonna plan. I've also heard that they were gonna plan to bring him back. They were just gonna, wait for a couple years, maybe let America do their films, and then, well, until that backfired, they're like, you know what, let's just do it ourselves. And for a story, for just a straightforward, safe return story, I like it a lot. It's really cool, but it's not a solo Godzilla film because this is actually a requel. Yeah, it's a requel film. So this is actually a direct sequel towards the original 1954 film. So as a requel, usually requels, when it's more of a Godzilla solo film, he's by himself, doesn't really fight anybody unless he's fighting a Super X. But here, he's fighting Orga, an alien, and I love Orga, man. And I love the personality of Orga and all that stuff. And, well, it's also trying to imitate Godzilla. It's really nice. And when him and Godzilla fight, It is awesome, man. So I like this. I like that the story, even the human characters are pretty nice. You know, Io, Shinoda, Yuki, and Karakiri was really cool, man. Especially when you watch it in English dub. He has this deep voice. It's really, really freaking cool. I love it. But yeah, I like the characters. They're pretty cool. I like them a lot. The action scenes, the cinematography, the special effects scenes are really, really cool. And yes, going back to Godzilla, he is great in this movie. It's awesome and all that stuff. And his atomic breath is great. I like how staticky it gets. And Orga's nice. And I love the final battle between the two. I really, really dug this film. And if I'm gonna lean, this is actually one of those moments where I kind of prefer the American version a bit, because I just feel like it's just, especially with the sound design, it feels like a more complete film. But especially with the Sony Blu-ray that came out not too long ago, I really love the Japanese version. I love both. Whichever version ever comes out, if ever they were to re-release it in theaters, whichever version comes out in theaters, I'm gonna be fine with either or. My only nitpick though with the American version is that it does include Roland Emmerich's roar. And if you listen to the DVD commentary or Blu-ray commentary track by the people who edited the film, they said that, oh, we did not add any sound effects on the 1998 film. Yeah, you did. Then what the hell is that? Jokingly, you know, don't worry. It's just, you know, I'm having fun here. But yeah, I love this movie. I love Godzilla 2000. I freaking dig this a lot. Godzilla versus Megaguirus. So this gets very creative in a way. But then again, this is also kind of weird, but also funny at the same time. So this is another requel. So this is a direct sequel to the 1954 film. So in a way, I think it ignores Godzilla 2000, even though I think it uses the same suit. So, or maybe it has some modifications with the colors and all that stuff, but I think it is the same suit. So the military is, so we also have this main character, her squadron dies, Godzilla stomps on them and all that stuff. So fast forward a couple years later, I believe, or months, the military is they're trying to, in a way, get rid of Godzilla by creating a artificial black hole, which is crazy. And they get this scientist dude here that owns a shop and all stuff, who wears as a Chicago Cubs fan, a kid from Chicago, he wears a Cubs hat throughout the whole movie. Appreciate that. So, no, and they get his help to create extra stuff and all that stuff. And also with his inventions are really freaking nice and everything. I like that a lot. So, yeah, they're just trying to get rid of Godzilla through a black hole. So they do an experiment, but unfortunately, a Megaleuon, or just a dragonfly, flies in the black hole. Or just a Megaleuon appears, and it evolves into multiple of them actually, and then they all like get together. But and then the giant Megaguirus shows up, and well, Godzilla's there to fight it. Yeah, you know what? I gotta say, this is I've seen from the Godzilla community. I've seen like a lot of people. This is like then again, it is. Yeah, it technically is my least favorite out of the Millennium-Era, but I love this one. I think it's the underrated one, not just mostly for the Godzilla franchise in general. I think it's very underrated because, yeah, the story, it's very simple, I think, and the characters, they're not as good as I will say the previous version. It's not one of the best characters, but then again, well, when you compare, because I actually quite like the characters. I like the scientist character. I like the military characters, and I also like our main character, which is really nice. She has this arc where she wants to avenge her squadron for the just to get back at Godzilla. So, but I understand why people don't like the movie. It's just that I think they kind of, how I see it is that they're kind of a stereotypical trope and all that stuff, or more like caricatures in a way. And I understand that. I think that I understand that. Well, but I quite like the characters, and I think it's underrated because I really like the creativity here and all that stuff. The black hole, that's really nice. Instead of just using militaries, just shooting him down and or trying to take him down, all that stuff. I like that they're getting very creative with things. A black hole's nice, but that they create Megaguirus, and I actually quite like Megaguirus. I quite like Megaguirus. It has a lot of personality, and it does put up a good fight with Godzilla. And I like the sounds and roars it makes, man. That is really freaking nice. And Godzilla does that iconic, jump dive on him or her. It's so cool. And Godzilla, he's great in this. He's really great. I like his personality here. He is so cool. And the stinger at the end, that is really freaking nice. Yeah, but then again, there are moments where this movie does, it's a little slow. It does kind of like, it's a little slow pace, especially when there's not a lot of kaiju action. But I do like some of those creepy, nasty, I gotta say nasty, because man, sometimes when I would go fishing, sometimes there would be a lot of bugs underwater. It kind of brings me that to that. It gets a little nasty and creepy cinematography with all those Megaleuons, all those little like dragonflies underwater, especially with that giant egg, that little cocoon in the middle. ugh. But no, I dig this movie a lot. It is a little slow paced in certain areas, but yeah, but the score, I say the score defines the Millennium Era. I love the score, and it'll be used it'll be used for the Kiryu saga. So yeah, I quite enjoy Godzilla versus Megaguirus. GMK, or basically Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack. Oh my god. Yeah, let's just get started here. So Godzilla, I believe he's being possessed by by soldiers of World War II, and future generations, as far as I've seen, they've been disrespecting the past and all that stuff. So we have this news reporter trying to just cover stories and all that stuff, and now we have these Godzillas here, but also these Guardians beasts, which is Baragon, who did not make it in the title. You got Mothra and King Ghidorah. So yeah, King Ghidorah is actually a good guy here for the first time. That's really nice. And well, Godzilla's on a rampage, and they're trying to summon all these guardian beasts are trying to stop him. And well, everybody's trying to find out, what's going on. Alrighty then, let's get on to the review. That was a bad description of the plot synopsis I just gave, but a lot of stuff happens here, but it's just so good. So they got director, I hope I didn't butcher his name. Well, Kaneko, who directed the Shunsuke Kaneko, he directed one of my favorite trilogies of all time, the Gamma trilogy from the 90s, man, and genius to bring him in here. And his take on Godzilla, it is amazing, man. It's like seeing a demon or a ghost just roaming around Japan. And when Godzilla stomps, you really see him stomp on people. Like, you really see people getting hurt, and that is just crazy. Yeah. No, and also Godzilla, man, he can be pretty invincible here, but but then again, once King Ghidorah, he becomes King Ghidorah, Godzilla shows vulnerability here. But man, I love Godzilla here. His design is great, and he's one of my favorite suits of all time. And I did pre-order the Hyatt Toys figure. White eyes, giant fangs, and thick legs, but he moves around and he hunches because it was a heavy suit. Excuse me. But no, I love Godzilla here. He's a huge menace, man, and his destruction scenes are brutal as hell. Mothra is really freaking cool. I love her here. Ghidorah is really nice. I like his design here. He's really cute, actually, in a way. And Baragon, I love Baragon, especially we all seen that behind the scenes with the actress playing Baragon. Cute, and it makes even Baragon scenes even cuter. And the human scenes are really freaking good. I like our main character's father character. He's really freaking cool. And our main character is really nice. I like that she gets involved with things, and I really like that a lot. Also, a lot of the extra characters, human characters here, if we get a couple of minutes, not a lot of screen time, but they do make an impact here, and I really like that a lot. And his themes about World War II and all that stuff, it is really good, man. This movie, and I would say it's really deep. And again, the kaiju action, it is just crazy good. Cinematography, the effects are good. The score is amazing. I really love this movie, and this movie's been praised to death, and not much I can say about this one. Yeah, it's one of the best Godzilla films I've ever seen. Jesus Christ, man, I love it. I love it. I remember looking at the DVD cover and looking at Godzilla's white eyes. That kind of freaked me out as a little kid, but as an adult, man, that is fucking awesome, man. That is, oh man, I need to have a Japanese poster of that movie. I love this movie so much. Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. So we got a character, Akane. Basically, is it kind of I would say it's kind of a recycled plot in a way of Godzilla Megaguirus, but I kind of like the human aspect here much better here. So Akane gets her squad killed because I believe she kind of freaked out by trying to shoot a maser at Godzilla. And a couple years later, they create the Kiryu program because they dug up the bones of the original Godzilla from 1954. Oh yeah, so before I move on, even GMK in this one, and with the exception of Tokyo SOS and basically this whole, this Millennium Era is kind of like requels to the original. So this movie, again, disregards everything else. So then here, this is a direct sequel to the original 1954 film, which is pretty nice. So yeah, so then they create this Kiryu program. Well, a guy that's he kind of has a liking to her, which he's kind of cringy, but in a funny way. I like that, and he has his daughter. So it's a nice human. It's a nice human story here. So they create Mechagodzilla, but he's also given the name Kiryu, and Godzilla's there. So they have a fight, but once Godzilla roars, Kiryu remembers who he is, so he goes on a rampage. It's temporarily, but then of course they have the rematch at the end, and then yeah, it's a cool fight. No, I quite like this. I quite like this one a lot, actually. Godzilla against Mechagodzilla is such a well paced film, and the special effects scenes are great. Godzilla, his design is really cool. I like that. It's basically the Meta Goji suit, how I see it, but except that his eyes are big, and he did. I would always say that this is probably when Godzilla kind of sees did a line of coke before he did a shoot, because he looked like he was on coke. But no, I like the suit. But I gotta say, Kiryu, man, Kiryu, I love Kiryu, like the Mecha Godzilla here, man. I love the design, the roar. I could say, I would say it's probably because I always try to go back and forth, but I would probably say Kiryu's roar is the best roar in my opinion, man. Because you really hear the original, you really hear Godzilla in there, because of course he has the bones of Godzilla. So, man, I really love the design and all of his upgrades, and the absolute zero cannon he has. Damn good, man. I really like that a lot. No, and the action scenes between Godzilla and Kiryu on both fights, it is so cool. I really like that a lot. This movie is, when it comes to the pacing, I think, it's fast paced, but there are moments where I feel like it kind of slows down a little bit. But then again, it's more of a nitpick here, because it leads way to this cool story that I really do, that I like about Akane, who she is like there was actually a nice redemption arc with her, and how she just overcomes her fears and feeling like she's doubtful of herself, but then she overcomes it, which is really freaking nice. And there's this cool conflict between her and another one of her teammates, where one of the guys that she got accidentally killed was his brother, and I like that a lot. And also it's really cute seeing the romantic scenes with her and the guy that's trying to, well, of course, hook up with her. But no, I really like this. I like this. I like the chemistry with all these human characters and just the story there. And yeah, I'm a little biased here. Yumiko Shaku, who plays Akane, I still to this very day have a crush on her. A celebrity crush on her. She is just beautiful, but she's a phenomenal performer in her films, and from what I've seen her outside of that, she seems like a nice bubbly person, so that is nice. I remember having a major crush on her as a kid and all that stuff, and I still do, man. I'm a grown-ass man, and I still do, so yeah, hey, whatever, man. Hey, she's gorgeous. But yeah, but other than that, this film is awesome, man. I really dig this a lot. Godzilla Tokyo SOS is so it's not a requel, it's a direct sequel to Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. So it kind of shows up for like a minute or two. So, but here we have focus on a new cast of characters, which follows the grandfather. He's one of the main characters from Mothra from 1961. Yeah, so it's not only a direct sequel to 1954, it is a direct sequel to the Showa era Mothra film, which is really nice. So the main characters are from the Mothra family, as I like to call them. So speaking of Mothra is upset that they're using the bones of Godzilla for Kiryu, and which understandably just goes against the balance of nature. But since after the events of Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, where Akane pretty much critically damaged Godzilla in the chest, Godzilla still hasn't healed, but Godzilla's still rampaging Japan, and Kiryu's there, and they're trying to find a way to stop him while they can. And it's this nice like 2-on-1 fight between Mothra and Godzilla. Kiryu, Mothra, and Godzilla. And spoiler alert, of course, she dies. He kills her ass, but her baby's hatched, and they try to go after her, which is kind of a remake of Mothra vs. Godzilla from 1964. Yeah, I really like this movie. I really like this a lot. I think it's a little bit better than Against Mechagodzilla, because I say this, just the pacing is a bit better, and I think the story is just a little bit more fleshed out a bit, because I think this doesn't focus too much on characters and all that stuff, and it just gets straight to the point. Simple story, gets to the point. I like that a lot, and I love the connections with not just for Mothra, but I believe it also connects to all the other Showa era films, non-Godzilla films. So yeah, and I like that for continuity's sake. They say they were so afraid for Mothra to come in to help out, because they were like, last time she came to Tokyo, she destroyed it, and yeah, they're right. I like continuity. And Godzilla, he's awesome, man. I like that scar he has in his chest, which is really cool. And Kiryu is awesome too, man. And that ending with our main character and Kiryu, that's pretty sad, I gotta say. Pretty sad. But yeah, no, I like that. I like this a lot. I like this movie a lot, man. This is really freaking cool. The action, special effects is great. The score is great. It's it's damn good. It's so fun, straightforward. It is fun, man. And this is a nice homage to the Mothra, not just Mothra, but Mothra vs. Godzilla. Man, this is so cool. The action is I gotta say is intense too in a way, man. When Kitty is down, you actually feel for him, which like holy shit. I love Godzilla, but there were moments where I'm rooting for Kitty to win, man. So yeah, this one is awesome. Godzilla Final Wars. We're at the final one of the Millennium-Era. So I believe this is a I don't know. Is this I don't know if this is a direct sequel to 1954 or a sequel to the whole franchise, because this film feels like a big, huge homage to the franchise in general. So we got the Gotenko fighting Godzilla. They give him into this icy prison, but years later, everybody's basically controlling or basically in a way, yeah, just policing all these kaijus that are destroying the cities until a bunch of aliens come in. And of course, you know what aliens do. They take over everything, and then they have a lot of these kaijus they unleash all these kaijus. So our main characters, they go in and get help from Godzilla, of course, by using the Gotenko again. And then, well, yeah, Godzilla's on his badass, you know, like a freaking fighting game tournament rampage to getting rid of all these kaiju, basically getting control back. And well, it leads to a nice final battle between him and Kaiser Ghidorah. Man, I gotta say, this movie, I understand why people don't like this movie, because it kind of very much like you could argue it rips off the Matrix a lot and all that stuff, and I'm pretty sure people can say it focuses too much on the humans, and then like you don't see Godzilla doesn't show up again till 40 to an hour into the film. And this movie's like 2 hours plus, so yeah, I believe this is the first Godzilla film that's almost 2 hours and 30 minutes. I don't got a problem with that, but I get it. I get the criticisms, and I get its attractiveness. But personally, I love this film. I love our human characters, man. Every single one is cool, and our villain is so much fun to watch, man. He is just so funny as hell, and the action is crazy. At least it's it gives you action. In case you don't care about the plot, at least it gives you action to get distracted. So there you go. But no, I love how bonkers this is, man. Every fight, when Godzilla shows up, which I love his design. I love his design so much. When Godzilla shows up, man, he just goes crazy. I love it. All bets are off. All bets are off. Gloves are taken off. It's bonkers, and I love it, man. Every single fight, the fight between King Caesar and Anguirus and Rodan against him. It is really freaking cool, man. And of course, the fight between Kaiser Ghidorah and Godzilla, that is so cool, man. My only nitpick for the film, I wish we had a fight between Hedorah and Ebirah against Godzilla, man. That was more off screen. You mostly saw the aftermath, which, yeah, and that was a cool, funny, short fight between Zilla and Godzilla, which, healing the wounds from that one. But yeah, I really dug this movie a lot. I just like that this movie does not just unapologetically just goes nuts, man. And I respect that a lot. I love Final Wars, and it's fun. I pop it in every now and then because it's fun, and show it to kids, and they'll have a good time, man. This is cool. It's a cool popcorn flick, and a nice way to end the 50th anniversary. So that is really nice, man. So yeah, that was my review for the Millennium-Era. Overall, I'm a big fan of the Millennium-Era, but I grew up with it. I was a little kid who grew up with the Millennium-Era. So yeah, I was those kids. I was those kids who grew up with the Millennium Godzilla, and man, what a way a kid like me getting introduced to Godzilla, which got me excited for watching the past Godzilla films. I was trying to get my hands on any Godzilla, not just renting, but buying them, like the Kellis and Media DVDs and all that stuff. I wanted Godzilla. I wanted all Godzilla. So thanks to the Millennium-Era, I became mostly Godzilla 2000. I became a hardcore Godzilla fan. Yeah, Godzilla 1998 too, but mostly because of this Godzilla. Godzilla when he was working in the Millennium-Era, man. It's from 1999 to 2004. That was my Godzilla, and that's fucking awesome, man. So yeah. Yeah, thank you guys so much if you guys stuck around at the end of this video. So let me know down in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of the Millennium-Era? I would love to know. Please let me know down in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your opinions on it. So this is Javi from JAVIWOOD Productions signing off, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show.